Straight up, good morning. I'm Chuck Gatica along with Tati Amara. We have made it to Friday. That's a good thing. We thank you for being with us on Live in the D. And we're going to start the show in a little different way today. Absolutely. Talking about the shocking loss of the music icon Prince. Big fan. I mean, we were talking about this morning. Everybody's talking about it, you know.
Yeah, it was just such a shock.
Yeah.
I was coming back from grabbing some lunch with, one of our videographers, Chris Delcamp. He was like, his wife texted him and he was like, Prince died. And I was like, no, maybe it's, a rumor or something that came out on TMZ, but it was in fact true. It was a shock. At
first, when it was breaking, I was looking and there were actually articles saying it's a hoax right away.
Okay.
And so then you think, well, okay, now I don't know what to believe, but then all of a sudden it was AP. So for me, before we get to the art and the music and the genius and all that stuff, when you see 1958 hyphen, just affects me personally. When you see, and if you're out there, you understand. When you see the year you're born hyphen, you kind of go, whoa, 57.
Young,
way too soon.
Extremely young. And everyone just kind of had this idea of him as being very vibrant and healthy, and it was a shock to everyone.
All right, so we've got a daily jam as we do every day. Today it's in honor of Prince, his hit song Purple Rain from the album and the movie that was released back in 1984. We're seeing a lot of iconic images because we would get glimpses. Kind of, you kind of like you peek open, you look inside the curtain for a minute. That's the stuff we're seeing. So he looks so much younger in some of the video, like even today's show.
Exactly.
Was like
from 94.
Right.
He looked very young.
Yeah.
So that this was Prince's 6th studio album, and I think that this is when his career really turned. So a lot of people relate to this particular project back from 1984. And the movie Purple Rain was loosely based on his life experiences. So, the parental elements and that drama that was taking place, it was a lot. And right now, Purple Rain is the #1 song on iTunes.
Well, and don't we see that happen, when we lose somebody like Michael Jackson, Elvis? I mean, songs race to the top of the charts. So, in fact, the top 10 songs on iTunes right now are all Prince songs, and the top 4 albums on iTunes right now are Prince albums.
That's right. So tributes have been coming in from across the globe, remembering Prince for his music and his style. And he had recently performed in Atlanta to rave reviews. Yeah, and people who were there said that they're shocked because he appeared to be healthy. He had some kind of health scare. Right.
Remember the story where his plane was diverted? Something was going on there. But he was one of those artists that transcended generations. Obviously an amazing singer, musician, performer. And there are still lots of questions, aren't there?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, he played all of the instruments. He wrote songs for people from Alicia Keys to Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
He's worked in all different facets of music. And over his career, he won 7 Grammy Awards and earned 30 nominations. So Prince's last performance in Detroit was April last year at the Fox.
So, and here's the thing. So I read toward the end of one of these articles on this diversion of his airplane. He was hospitalized for like 3 days. He was sent home, and then when he got to Atlanta, he was getting cheers that he interpreted as, we're glad you're well, kind of thing.
Okay.
And in an eerie way, he said to the crowd, don't start praying for me yet. Meaning, I'm not gone, I'm okay, I'm going to make it, and that kind of thing. And then, of course, we get this news. So that's kind of strange.
So, shortly after we heard about Prince's passing, I headed out to talk to fellow Detroiters about their memories of the legendary singer. We lost a lot of greats this year. Bowie caught everybody off guard. People didn't know that he was sick, and now
Prince, and I never thought. I just thought he'd always be around. I grew up with him, and it's devastating.
Back when I was in my teenage years, I played all the instruments, and to see someone of his caliber who's no longer with us, it's real shocking. My friend in London texted me, and she was crying about this.
And he was an amazing musician, talent, and a great person.
It's really sad. I had the fortunate ability to, with my wife, to see him at a very small concert venue in Sweden when he was testing new music about 5 years ago, and his connection with the audience was incredible, and passion for music was very obvious. It's very shocking. This year has not been good to some of our most iconic musicians.
I can't believe I never got to see him.
Prince time in Vanity 6 was an amazing experience.
Yeah? What do you remember about it?
I just remember him coming out and the crowd going crazy and him performing at the highest level.
I also do tours at United Sound Recording Studio, and part of Graffiti Bridge was recorded there.
Wow.
So he had some connection to Detroit.
Okay, that's good
So
to know.
that's why you saw him at the Fox and he said he loves coming to Detroit, but when he was doing Graffiti Bridge, he did it at United Sounds Recording Studio.
Wow, that's a great piece of history. I don't think a lot of people know that.
No.
So on our Live in the D Facebook page, fans have been sharing their memories of Prince and some of their favorite songs. So Julie says, "Let's Go Crazy," and she used to dance crazy to the song in college. Yeah.
Yeah, she loved Prince. She loves him now. Laura says, "Raspberry Beret, the kind you find in the secondhand store." A lot of quotes of his music coming out, right?
Absolutely. And Cecilia says, 1999. Who didn't love that song?
Martina says, "Can't pick just one, but her favorite album is Sign of the Times."
Yes.
Yeah. Joining us now, Greg Russell, who is here. We're going to get to real talk in just a little while, our movies for the weekend, but also Kern Brantley. Kern is the bassist for Lady Gaga. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So we were going to talk to you about all kinds of things, and we'll do that as well, but you're here on a morning where we need to get your inside perspective as somebody who tours with Gaga. You know some of the band members that play with
Yes, I'm good friends with the drummer, the bass player, saxophone player from New Power Generation.
Yeah.
Good friends with those guys.
So what does this mean to you when you see the loss of a music icon, but also the genius that
Right.
was?
And it's just, to me, it's really a hurting thing because now we're at a point that we're looking for more music and more stuff for the young children to learn about real instruments. And Prince played all the instruments on his record. So myself being a musician, it's really a hurting feeling to lose somebody like Prince, who's such an influence on musicians around the world.
Yeah. So what do you think this impact will be on the music business itself?
Well, on the business itself, it's going to be a big impact because it's such a loss. We all need someone to follow. Like, as a kid, I looked up to people like Jimi Hendrix and James Brown. And so this generation of children needs somebody as well to look up to kind of pattern himself out. And Prince was a great inspiration because he's such a talent, a musician, singer, songwriter, fashion icon. So we've lost a true legend and a true icon.
Do you have any idea, either of you, about he was a bit of a controlling guy from what I read, right? He wanted to control his world.
Right.
Did he own his own catalog of music? I mean, like we heard about Michael Jackson selling stuff off to Sony. Did Prince own and control what we will now come to find as his catalog going forward?
Oh, yes.
He did?
Definitely on his catalog, and as well as, items like I recently visited the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they didn't have a lot of Prince stuff there. They had a few items, but, so he kept close control of not just the music, but all merchandising and imaging as well.
Yeah, and it was a fight for him to get to that point. So he kind of set the trail, was a trailblazer in that sense. So when you think about the passing of Bowie and now Prince just in 1 year, and now we've got artists like Gaga, do you see people kind of picking up the mantle and moving forward?
Yes, definitely. They have to take it now and take the ball and take it to the next generation. People like Gaga and Justin Timberlake and other artists, Usher, have to take that ball and continue because we learned from those people, so we have to now be the ones that set the example for the next generation.
So you're in and out of all kinds of settings with movie stars and people behind the scenes. You've got some friends who
worked with Prince. They were his road managers, also guys who worked in the studio producing different things. I mean, just like the one gentleman you had on in your interview, talking about him recording over at United Sound, which a lot of folks don't know that. He recorded here in Detroit. And of course he loved Minneapolis. I mean, that's where he was from, lived there. But he was never shy about saying Detroit was his favorite city. Because when he first started out, he would come here to do concerts, and just the audiences here embraced him, and just fell in love with him. There was a DJ, the electrifying Mojo, back in the day, who would promote his stuff, and Prince would always be on the radio with him every time he came to town. So this was his second home, and in fact, when he started out, when he had the Purple Rain tour, he made sure it started here in Detroit. Most of his concerts always started in Detroit.
Very cool stuff. So now when we look ahead and we see Gaga, who I already, we were talking about this off air, you already see her pivoting in a different way, Although there was Purple Rain, the movie, Gaga is now moving into different venues. You think that's important for these stars? They get to a certain level?
Yes, definitely, because now music, fashion, and film is all kind of one. So, once you become a big artist, it's great to move into film and fashion and other endeavors as well. Yeah.
Well, Kern, I know you'll be able to stick around for a little bit. That's great. We're so glad you're here this morning.
Thank you so much.
And Greg as well. We'll get to real talk so we know what to do with our weekends.
There
right?
you go. Plus,